Figure 10.10. This is the results of a somewhat complex study which was aiming to compare the effect of adjacent mangrove forests on coral reef fish communities. And basically, the locations which were studied are split into two. So the mangrove poor coral reef locations are the boxes indicated in white, so site B, L and G, and the mangrove rich coral reef locations are shaded in grey, so we have site TU, T and C. At site G there are a number of different locations which you see in the MDS ordination plot below. Now effectively the mangroves adjacent to the coral reef are providing a very important nursery function for the fish community. And what the researchers found was that species richness was much higher on the mangrove rich coral reef communities. And indeed, when you compare the composition makeup of the fish communities on the coral reefs adjacent to the mangroves, they are significantly and very distinctly different from those on coral reefs where there are no adjacent mangroves. This is shown in the multi-dimensional scaling ordination plot at the bottom of the figure, where the fish communities are represented by the blue squares for the mangrove rich coral reef fish communities, and for the mangrove poor coral reef fish communities these are shown in the plot as the pink circles. What you can see in the ordination plot is that these fish communities separate out very distinctly. So the way to interpret an MDS ordination plot is the closer two adjacent points are to each other, the more similar the fish communities are at those two locations, and the further apart two points are in the plot, the more different the fish communities at each of those locations.